Irrational Games is back behind the wheel with the BioShock franchise and BioShock Infinite, this time taking the game out from under the sea and bringing it into the clouds. Here's everything we know about the game in anticipation of its March 26th release. While BioShock 1 began with a memorable opening of a plane crash survivor making his way to a lone lighthouse in the Atlantic Ocean, only to be taken down into the decaying dystopian underwater city of Rapture, BioShock Infinite's opening is almost like a bizarro alternate reality version of that scene. Instead of arriving at the lighthouse by seemingly freak accident, Infinite's protagonist Booker DeWitt is there by choice. Instead of going down into the deep depths of the ocean, Booker presses the up button and blasts off into the floating city of Columbia. Despite sharing the BioShock brand, Infinite shares no actual connections with the original two BioShock games. In an interview with Time Magazine's Techland, creative director Ken Levine said, "We just decided that BioShock didn't mean Rapture exclusively, that it means the look, the sort of hyper-stylized look of the world, the saturation of color, the feeling, the sense of humor, the combat mechanics, and the kinds of themes that we take on. We deal with the time period and we take the politics, the art, the music, the culture, the science, the advertising, the technology, and then we give it a twist. A little bit of science fiction, whether it's plasmids or buildings that float in tears that open in space, and we sort of put it all on a pod."
What am I? What am I?
Unlike BioShock's silent protagonist who is mostly a conduit for the player, Infinite's Booker DeWitt is very much a character of his own. Brought to life by Troy Baker, who is most well known in the video game world for his work as Snow in Final Fantasy XIII, Vincent in Catherine, and Joel in the upcoming The Last of Us. Booker is a former Pinkerton agent who arrives at Columbia with a mission: find the girl and erase the dead. That girl just happens to be Elizabeth.
77 years ago.
Keep looking, Lincoln.
Brought to life by actress Courtney Draper, Elizabeth is an extremely powerful individual who has been locked away like a caged bird in Columbia for her whole life. Upon being rescued by Booker, she becomes fascinated by the outside world and even tells Booker that if she ever seems like she's going to be captured and taken back, he should kill her himself.
But promise me that if it comes to it, you will not let him take me back.
Elizabeth has a special ability to open tears, which Levine has described as being windows to other worlds. In the E3 2011 gameplay demo, we have seen her use this ability to bring back life to a dying horse, but it also has an application in BioShock's combat. In the midst of battle, you can tell Elizabeth to open tears in the environment to provide Booker with a new piece of cover, or perhaps an environmental hazard, or even a new skyline for Booker to latch onto. The catch is that Elizabeth still doesn't have full control of her powers, so while there may be a total of 5 tears in the environment, Elizabeth may only be able to open 1 or 2. This can also be upgraded as the game goes on if you decide that is something you want to invest in. Elizabeth has also been shown to throw Booker weapons to restore his ammo. One of the core aspects of what makes a BioShock game is the world in which the game takes place. In BioShock Infinite, that world is Columbia. Originally viewed as the pride of the United States, tensions between the floating cities and the states came to a head when Columbia took it upon itself to fire upon Peking, China and put an end to the Boxer Rebellion. After being told to stand down, Columbia and its leader Zachary Comstock decided to secede from the US and went off the grid. While Columbia is still very much a lively and bustling city as opposed to the decaying Rapture, there's a sense that not all is right in the city. A civil war is brewing between the two main factions of Columbia, the Founders and the Vox Populi. The Founders idolize the Founding Fathers of the United States with a religious fervor and promote ultranationalism while being extremely xenophobic. On the other hand, the Vox Populi, Latin for voice of the people, is made up mostly of immigrants who reject the Founders' nationalism and have more communistic ideals. While both factions seem to hate just about everything about the other, the one thing that they have in common is that they both want Elizabeth. Like BioShock, combat in Infinite is a mix of traditional weaponry, fantastical powers, and a lot of interaction with the environment. Instead of plasmids, Booker wields what are known as vigors. We've seen vigors that allow Booker to throw fireballs, summon a murder of crows, pull enemies towards him, pull himself towards enemies, and of course, shoot lightning out of his hand. Like in BioShock 2, Booker can use a special power and have his gun ready at the same time. Adding another level of depth to the combat is the addition of skylines, which serve as a major form of transportation in Columbia. Booker can freely latch on and jump off of a skyline in the middle of battle to either run away, close the distance, or get the drop on an unsuspecting enemy. Traveling via skyline is akin to riding a roller coaster, except you can jump from one roller coaster to another at any time, bad guys are often chasing you, you have to avoid cargo containers, and you're in the freaking sky. Gary Scheinman, who did the music for both BioShock and BioShock 2, will be returning, but will be taking a completely fresh approach to the score of Infinite. The box art is going to be reversible in case you don't like the cliche guy with gun looks badass box art. There will be a $15 season pass for DLC with 3 packs currently announced. The first pack, called the Early Bird Pack, will include exclusive gear, gun upgrades, a gold skin, and 5 infusion bottles that provide various upgrades to Booker. And that's about it. If you're looking forward to BioShock Infinite as much as we are, subscribe to our Gamefront walkthrough channel and be sure to be on the lookout for our full video walkthrough when the game finally releases on March 26, 2013.
But that probably means there's no mulcher, right?
No, there's a boomer.
You got a boomer. Okay, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Get away, boomer.
So,
Somebody save me before it's too late.
this. Oh, here you go. Paddock's go.
Hey, you passed me, bitch!
Paddock was just like, fuck you, loser, man.